Hurrah! This is R.Lee, Ermey, better known as Gunnery Sergeant Hartman. I am listening to the Rick and Bubba Show. Two fine, outstanding young American hard chargers.
It is 21 minutes past the hour of all the celebrity drops. That one probably fires us up the most. And now what we've been waiting on, R.Lee Ermey, live in the Rick and Bubba Broadcast Plaza and Teleport. Welcome to the program, sir.
It's good to be here, finally.
I know.
Now, I think I've been on at least once, maybe twice with you guys
by
before.
Phone. Right.
Via phone, yeah.
Right. It's not the same.
It's our pleasure to have you in the broadcast plaza today.
I didn't realize you guys were cute fat guys like you are.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I know when you think of us, you think of Pyle.
A pile of what?
Hey, thank you for your service to our country.
You know what? Rick, my service has been an absolute pleasure. There's no thanks necessary. It's been a great life. I've been with the military now since I was 17 years old. I'm celebrating. This year is my 51st anniversary that I'm celebrating with the United States Marine Corps. I think I've been told I could be in the Guinness World Book of Records for attending more Marine Corps birthday balls than anybody alive. I do 10 to 12 every year, but I travel for the Marine Corps. I give them 100 days a year. If they want more, the commandant or the sergeant major calls me up and asks for more, I give them to them. So,
what do you think about our guys in Marines right now? I mean, have we continued the commitment to excellence?
They're as good as they have ever been. I would put them right up there with my guys. You know, back in '61, I came in the Marine Corps. I was in the Marine Corps through '71. Got retired out, but my guys were spot on. They were aggressive. They were just a gentleman if the need arises. They adjusted to all occasions. I can say nothing but good things about the Marine Corps, the Army, the Air Force, the Coast Guard, the Navy today are just as good, if not better. The thing is, they've got better toys to play with.
Oh, yeah.
So, you give them a job and they make short work of it.
So how...
From 5 miles away.
Yeah, that's right. Over the horizon. So how do you make the transition from that, because a lot of people don't know your story, into the actor that we have all known and come to love?
Well, I didn't have a trade. I didn't know what the heck else I could do. I found myself standing outside the gate of the Marine Corps Recruit Depot in San Diego, California, and the only thing that I owned in the world was this sea bag, in this little green bag right in my side there. And I thought, boy, what am I going to do with my life now? And I thought, well, I was a pretty good instructor. And so I wrote a script in Hollywood just down the road. So I went to Hollywood and did the comedy clubs for a year and a half.
Well, I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah, and I did okay. I guarantee you one thing, I never had any hecklers.
So what was your stand-up routine like? Was it military humor and being a drill sergeant?
Recruit training humor. And it worked out real good. It just paid the bills. I was sought after. There was not a night go by but what I wasn't invited to do a stand-up somewhere. And usually it was like Friday and Saturday nights, the big nights, a stand-up. And you would basically do all your work Friday and Saturday and then have the week off.
Yeah, that's a good deal, isn't it?
It's kind of nice having 5 days off a week.
Yeah, it is.
But you get lazy, you get a little lazy. But I was very successful, and I had one guy came in one night and said, "Hey, Gunny, guess what? They're going to start doing Vietnam War shows over in the Philippine Islands." Oh, so I basically went home, packed my little sea bag up, and off to the Philippine Islands. I went to George Air Force Base and jumped on a Space A and went to the Philippines. First went to Okinawa, then the Philippines, but I got involved. And the more involved I got, the busier I got. So look at me, I'm 68 years old and I'm busier than I've ever been in my life. And it's good because it keeps me off the couch. You retire and sit down on that couch and watch football, and you're going to die. You're going to have heart attacks. That's it.
Man, you look great too.
Well, I feel okay. I'm all right.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't make a run at you. No way.
Well, I don't have the stamina that I used to have.
That makes you more dangerous, though.
But you're
'cause
wily.
You got to do it quick.
Yeah, you're wily.
Wily. But I seem to be in good health. I'm okay. I'd still go out and jog a little bit, and I try to stay as active as I can. I'm on the airplane 3 times a week, going someplace, doing something. And so, it's for me, it's fun. And I was telling the guys when they were bringing me back from the airport last night, taking me out to the hotel, that, as long as it's fun, I'll continue to do it. And so I told the wife that I was going to semi-retire when I'm 92.
There you go.
There you
That's
go.
fair.
She'll appreciate
Yeah,
that.
well, that's what I thought. I'll cut it down to 5 days a week.
Yeah. Take a
We
weekend.
were talking amongst ourselves before you got here about all of the roles you've played, and you start looking at the list, and you forget how many things you've been in over the years. You've been in a lot of movies, a lot of commercials.
I've done
and
it.
none are any better, really. And we were talking about the Geico commercial. You as the psychiatrist,
funny
that is
people.
hilarious.
Well, we got a new word. Now, you know what a jackwagon is,
No,
right?
no.
Okay, listen up, folks.
I think I
Now,
know, but I'm not going to say.
We're going to educate you what a jackwagon is. Here you go. Back in the old days when they were moving west, the old covered wagon, the wagon train moving west, right? The jackwagon was always that last wagon in the train back there, eating all the dust and dirt. And he was the guy that had the accidental discharge with his pistol around the campfire.
That guy.
He was the guy that had a little too much to drink every night, and caused a lot of problems.
Moving to the back.
Got in fights and caused problems for the wagon train. And they put him way in the back of the wagon train where he had to eat all the dust. And they tell me that there was generally 5 or 6 jack wagons back there. There were a lot of troublemakers. So that's a jack wagon.
I never knew that. That explains it.
So if
See?
you're a drag on society,
Yeah.
you're a jackwagon.
The drudge. If you're the drudge, if you're the troublemaker, you're a jack wagon.
Well, in that commercial, you said it as if you had used that phrase before.
Right.
It wasn't the first time.
Well, I've known the word for a long time.
See, we didn't have to
Jackwagon.
exactly know the definition to appreciate the humor, because it was good.
Jack wagon, Mamby-Pamby land. Now, we've all been to Mamby-Pamby land.
Oh, yeah.
One time or another. Most of us, though, have managed to claw our way back out of Mamby-Pamby land and join society again.
Yeah, a lot of our elected officials live in that world.
Yeah, they're there now.
They do. I agree. I would say most.
Yes.
Actually,
Right.
most of them.
Yeah. If we could send you to Congress, that would be something.
Yeah, you ever thought about running?
There are a lot of skeletons in my old closet, boys.
Sure.
I was in the Marine Corps for a little over 11 years. That's kind of like I was when I was over in Japan or in the Middle East, Far East. I was always in that line there at the House of Ill Repute, and
So all
I
that's
drank too much.
all
I
that's
don't
gonna come-
drink anymore. I don't smoke anymore. I don't chase the women anymore. I'm 68, so that I'm not really.
He moved up the
enthusiastic.
wagon train.
That's it.
Jackwagon anymore.
I'm in the top 5 up there now in the wagon train.
We'll be back. R.Lee Ermey is with us.
I kind of want to see R.Lee shoot a little bit, don't you? I kind
Well-
of like to stand and watch that.
I mean, I'll tell you this.
See a pro in action.
The staff there says that he's teaching them, so he's still a great shot. So go by and make plans to see him. We got some phone calls standing by, but when you got into the movie business, what was your very first role? Of course, the first one I remember, of course, was one of the most famous was Full Metal Jacket. Did you do anything before that?
I did 5 films before that.
Boys and Company C.
Boys and
Well, I
Company
love
C.
Boys and Company C. I forgot about
movie I ever
that.
saw him in.
Love that movie.
Yeah, it worked out okay. A little movie, I think they had like $3 or $4 million, but back in the day, you can
That was
for
a good
$3 or
movie,
$4
though.
million
Great
bucks, you could make a good movie. And we shot that in the Philippine Islands, but I did Boys and Company C, Purple Hearts, Siege of Firebase Gloria. What was that? And Apocalypse Now.
I didn't know you were in Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, I was a helicopter pilot then, and I was also technical advisor for the show.
Yeah.
I was number 3 or 4 technical advisor,
Right.
but
Great
number
movie.
5
That's a
was
great
Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
So it
Boy,
worked
that
out
was a
okay.
movie. Wow.
That's the one that opened all the doors for me. So, Full Metal Jacket is near and dear to my heart. And then they let me tear it up and rewrite it because as well as I do, there's not a writer in Hollywood who's ever been in the military.
Right, yeah.
So, how do they write movies? They look at all the other movies that are made and decide that's the way it is.
Current day, Could a sergeant in that same role do the things you did in that movie? Was it that way when you went through, or was there some exaggeration?
No, in the day we couldn't do that.
Not even then.
No, not even then.
Okay.
Drill instructors were never allowed to put their hands on a private and hurt a private. Period. I mean, that's our product,
Yeah.
But back in the day, that was right in the heat of Vietnam, right in the middle of Vietnam. We were hurting for warm bodies in Vietnam, and so they cut recruit training down from 12 to 8 weeks, and they increased the size of the platoons that we were picking up out of receiving barracks from 60 privates to 120, doubled the size, and with the same stroke of the pen. We were picking up usually a platoon out of receiving barracks usually about a week before we even graduated the old platoon. So drill instructors was day on, stay on, 7 days a week, anywhere from 14 to 18 hours a day. And times were hard. And we had no officer, very little officer and senior staff NCO supervision. So the drill instructors basically ran the show. And when drill instructors run the show, they find little shortcut ways of doing things, like instead of putting a private down and having him do 25 good push-ups, it was easier just to walk up and give him a little shot in the solar plexus, and the job was done,
Right, yeah.
But we were never, ever in the military were allowed to abuse anybody physically.
Yeah. Now, did you really? Was the frustration? Because one of the funniest parts in that movie is when you worked to train Joker to be this great killer, and then they sent him off to write for Stars and Stripes. Did you ever experience that disappointment?
Absolutely, a lot. Yeah, a lot.
You're a killer.
Because we
think you're Mickey Spillane?
But still and yet. I mean,
Greg
we
can
had
quote the whole movie.
we had cooks too. We had cooks.
Yeah.
We had bakers, candlestick makers, the whole ball of wax. Marine Corps was self-supporting.
Right, that's true.
And so, but all that said and done, still at the end of the day, the cook was able to pick up a rifle and go out and be a grunt, same as anybody else.
Absolutely.
So, and it's still that way. Cook or whatever the case may be, you might run the base laundry or whatever, but you're a staff non-commissioned officer in the Marine Corps, and you can pick up that rifle and you can go fight just as good as any grunt could.
As good as that movie was, I will have to tell you, possibly my all-time favorite is Saving Silverman, though.
Yeah, well,
Anytime a football coach kills a referee with a first down marker, I mean, you got to go, hey, that's good stuff.
Yeah, my dad's a retired football coach. He liked when you impaled him. That was great.
I figured if
he tried that one time.
If anybody was going to bring up Saving Silverman, it would be Bubba, now, wouldn't it?
You know where he's headed with this.
You know where he's headed.
Oh,
with
yeah,
I'm not
did.
headed
See?
there. No.
So I kissed Jack Black. Okay, get it on out there.
say that.
Throw it right on
That
out.
was Greg.
Let's
The
get it on the
thing
table.
is-
I don't even remember that.
All right, now let me explain that to you, okay? Here's the deal. They came to me and offered me $200,000 to do, they gave me the role, the description of the
I
role was
kissed him
that
for
of a gay homicidal high school football coach. Now, I had not done that role. I had never done a gay homicidal high school football coach, and I'm up for a challenge. I'm one of those guys. So I said, okay, I can do this. I can pull this off. And they offered me $200,000 to kiss Jack Black. Come on, give me a break. Hell, I'd kiss everybody in this room.
Amen.
Take up a collection.
Right now.
But I got up to Canada. We shot that up in Vancouver, Canada. I got up there and I unloaded everything out of my bag and hung everything up the way, got my room squared away. And then I immediately got on the phone, called up Jack Black's room and said, get your fat little butt down to the bar and I'll meet you down there. I'll buy you a beer and we're going to talk this over. Set down some ground rules. And number one, there's going to be no tongue. So there was no tongue, no wetness, no reach around, none of this stuff. Now, I do understand this is a family show. So I'm trying to keep it as civilized as I possibly
And
can.
thank you.
Thank
We
you for
brought
that.
it up.
But I want to just say one thing, and that is that the old gunny will not be coming out of the closet anytime soon.
Well, that's-
Glad to hear that.
That's
So
good.
don't hold your breath.
Right. Well, look, for $200,000, look, me and you right there in the broadcast plaza.
Oh, yeah. That cleared it right up.
Well, if you want to go meet R.Lee Ermey in person, you got a chance to do that today. Hoover Tactical and Firearms there. not far from the studio. He'll be there 11 to 5 or maybe 6 if he feels like hanging that long, 10 to 6 tomorrow. And thank you for being on the show. It really means a lot to us.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I've been on the show, I don't know, once or twice with you guys before. I'm kind of looking forward to it. They said I was going to be on with Rick and Bubba, so I figured it was a great chance to finally get in here and see you guys in person.
Well,
we're a fan. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, and thank you for all you've done for the country, continue to do with the military, and also giving us some laughs from
I
time
want
to
to
time.
get in one thing. Get out there and register to vote. If you're not registered, make sure you are, because your vote does count, and we're all in this year. We must overcome.
You better believe that.
Yeah, you got that.
We will send R.Lee Ermey to your house if you're not registered to vote.
And he can discuss it with you one-on-one.